a rainbow nation at peace with itself and the world.
Ongoing racial divide in post-apartheid South Africa.
This is our land, this is South African land.
Racial tensions have risen in recent years.
Divisions at their worst.
They're angry over high unemployment, widespread poverty and glaring income disparity.
To put a living person in a coffin against his will under threats of killing him.
The behavior had, quote, fueled racial tensions.
Now, put that bottle down! You do not understand our pain! You do not understand our pain!
Racial integration is not happening fast enough.
I wish that I could change what is happening to my country. I'm a musician, and this is how I translate my ideas and my dreams into this world. I grew up in Soweto. Soweto is the largest township in Africa. Growing up in Soweto, there was a lot of poverty and there's still a lot of now. There were few opportunities for me to escape that poverty. My family still live in Soweto. My grandmother always wanted to open up a jazz club, but her dreams were never realized because of apartheid. But she had tons of records at home. We started rehearsing at like 2 p.m., 3 p.m. PM. The other guys had a rehearsal, not AM. In the past, Soweto was a horrible place to live in because of the violence that was inflicted on the people that lived there. And the violence was not just physical violence. Poverty itself is inherited violence. This is a picture of grandmother. This is probably 1950s.
Yeah.
All the girls have their heads shaved.
Short hair or shaved hair, that's all.
Even for the girls.
Even for the girls.
I used to walk from Mletsani to Pimki to Rockville. Almost 6 kilometers.
Were they not allowed to wear shoes or...
I think money. Much of what they had to do back then was a struggle. You see the trauma in them even today. This was exactly 94. This is when the first elections were.
Elections were happening, yeah.
Yeah.
I was counting votes in 1994,
Yeah, you were counting votes. Obviously, that week things changed. The whole country changed.
The mood was so vibrant.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
I was very lucky with the childhood that I had. I grew up with privileges that many others didn't have. I first discovered music from a very, very young age, as my mom is a pianist. Now I absolutely love music. It's a big passion of mine.
Vriende, goeienaand. Baie welkom by ons aanddiens vanaand. Ek gaan net eers vir ons liturgiese kers aansteek. Aso om te sê dat ons dan in die teenwoordigheid van Christus is en dat hy in sy lig hier by ons teenwoordig is.
I honestly believe that music can bring people together. Music is a universal language.
It's just a harmonic progression of it.
But we got a bigger applause, I think, at the Berlin concert house.
To be honest, my close friends are the same race as me. I don't think it's something that's intentionally done.
We are friends along racial lines. And that's why we still have segregation as it is.
I think when people are not integrated, it can definitely lead to prejudices between the races, because you don't really know those people and you don't understand them.
As we can see from history, prejudice leads to inequality, and this is a fact that we cannot dispute. South Africa is still one of the most unequal societies in the world.
The majority of our country's population is very, very poor.
Dankie Vader vir die voedsel wat U vir ons voorsit. Is maak spreg amper af vir Amen.
Amen.
Thanks.
Ja, nou toch.
Jou vleis is reg land.
Het jy al na die final hymn van Vaartbid geluister? Dis so mooi.
In hulle concert, die 17.
17 nee.
Ja, Miagi. 17 October.
October.
So it'll be the whole team that went for the tour.
Oh, that's the whole team?
Yeah, that whole Australian tour.
Cape Town, Bloemfontein.
Maar as jy nou vir iemand moet sê van Miagi, wat dink jy staan uit?
Ek dink hulle meestal bring soveel mense bymekaar. Ek bedoel, dis oor die hele Suid-Afrika. Dis so baie verskillende mense.
Asien.
Into engichazayo ngelokhu njani orchestra ikiletha wonke lokhu njani walks of life. Beba lokhu njani into eyi-one.
Yeah, it's true.
I can't wait.
We will be there.
I heard about the orchestra quite a few years ago, and I heard that they went on tour. Going to Europe has been a dream of mine for a very, very long time.
Yeah, T-Man. I was lucky to go to a school that had some classical instruments. I was introduced to the cello, and it was love at first sight. Very few people had this opportunity in Soweto. Yeah, you can see with this. The cello changed everything for me.
Good, how are you? Good, thank you. Good to see you. It's so nice to see you too. I miss you.
The orchestras in South Africa have always been dominated by white musicians, and I never imagined myself being part of one. To be really honest, when I went to the orchestra, it was possibly the first time I'd been in a space where there were really a lot of people from really different backgrounds.
I think this orchestra is very, very special.
Okay. So let's go back to the beginning. I thought there's a lot of good things from yesterday. Thank you. I think we can do this now and keep going. 1, 2, and. where this crescendo starts, 4 bars before.
In my opinion, I think the members of an orchestra have to be friends to make it work.
All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. 15 minutes.
If you have that bond with your fellow musicians and you are all making the same music together, it's much easier to achieve that goal of creating a really good performance.
Have you ever heard this piece? Sequenza number 5 for trombone. You need to be dressed up as a clown. It's really...
When you start knowing each other, then the fears of who you are and assumptions disappear. This is Soweto, this whole table.
Yes.
I stay almost right in the center.
Oh, really?
My great-great-grandmother was born in Soweto in like 1907. When they moved to Soweto, you could actually see a bit of antelopes.
Really?
But now it's changed. I mean, if you go now, you can't see anything.
I haven't been to Soweto.
You haven't been?
No, I haven't been.
Oh, you must come on. When we want to break racial lines, we must engage each other beyond a group of people. Go for the individual.
If people see this concert,
Yeah, people will love it, man.
I mean, and see how we work together, see the energy between us, and how there's just love.
Yeah,
it's
everywhere.
just love.
Everywhere. Unfortunately, it's incredibly hard to get funding for the orchestra. There are people who don't want the situation in this country to change. My biggest worry for South Africa is that we lose all this positive energy that we had in 1994 after the elections. The collective spirit of ending an unjust system. South Africa is in the crossroads where even Mandela's legacy is disputed. This rainbow nation might just be a lie. I'm a musician. You know, I'm trying to positively change my country through music. Sometimes we're never sure if people actually will come to the concert. Whenever we have these concerts, I never know, you know, if we can have the same opportunity again. Yeah, I have nerves before the concert.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Miagi Orchestra.
I initially joined the orchestra because I've always wanted to go to Europe, but I think what I got from it is so much more.
Joining the Miagi Orchestra has absolutely changed everything for me. It has grown beyond music.
people come together and they really try and work things out and they have hope, then that is when this country will change.
Music, in essence, is a collective effort. Every voice is equal, and no voice should be unheard. Tolerance is not enough. We need to really love each other to become just one South Africa.
There is no easy road to freedom. None of us acting alone can achieve success.